Troy and Abed in the morning.
Hello, everyone. You probably know Tyler and me, maybe, but just in case you don't, hi, I'm Heather.
Hi, I'm Tyler.
We're in a romantic relationship.
She's being mean to me and won't let me wear my sunglasses, even though it's bright out.
It's impersonal. Yes, it is. It's kind of bright, but I feel like this will be fine. We'll talk more to each other like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still have to squint.
Yeah, me too a little bit, but that's fine. Okay, as you can see from the title, whatever we end up choosing, this is a series, a discussion series about stuff that Tyler and I talk about a lot behind the scenes, and I've always found that I've always found that it's really interesting stuff. And so I thought, let's film it for YouTube and maybe have people join in on the conversation in the comments. Maybe even have guests at some point.
Yeah.
So I guess just a little background on us. Tyler and I have been together for, it'll be 3 years in October. 3 years. And I don't know, you say stuff.
Do you want to give like the whole divorce thing?
No.
No? Okay.
But just sort of the elephant in the room of our size difference and how...
Well, the elephant in the room is actually an elephant.
This is what I'm talking about. So Tyler is
6'2", 300 pounds, and Heather is 5'2" and a soaking wet.
Something. I don't know. I don't know how much I weigh
Nor do you need to.
I haven't weighed myself in a long time. So,
which I'm proud of you about.
Thank you. You guys might know that I'm also, I guess, sort of in recovery for an eating disorder right now, like unofficially, but also I've had to put that on the back burner just because life has been just really stressful, and so it's just not something I can do right now. But I've always felt like it adds a very interesting dynamic to Tyler's and my relationship, because we have realized that we both have really unhealthy relationships with food and with our bodies, and like I said, I think it brings up a lot of interesting conversations between the two of us.
It does.
So yeah, that is why we're doing this. That's why we're sitting here and talking to you. Yeah. And it's hard. Like, it's hard because you said, you were just saying that you are the elephant?
Yes, I'm the elephant in the room.
So
Part of that is also, every time we talk about this, and I've never said it to you because I don't like the second part of the equation, but there is an episode of South Park where a pig makes love to an elephant. And I don't like the idea of you being the pig, but also you are tiny and I'm not. I'm quite large, so it's that dichotomy. There's also an episode of Harley Quinn where Dr. Psycho and his ex-wife Gigantica are in the same room, and somebody says, "How did this work sexually?" And Dr. Psycho replies, "Not well." And it makes me think, no, it's just that I'm the giant and you're this tiny little thing. It's very Beauty and the Beast, but if Beast were like, "I like burritos."
So this thing that he's doing, this sort of self-deprecating, disparaging kind of thing about his size, is something I don't ever know exactly how to respond to.
Laughter.
But then am I participating in fat phobia? What am I doing there?
Or you are just laughing at me trying to diffuse the tension of dealing with me being just bigger than everybody my entire life.
Well, and then even now, it's introducing this whole series is kind of awkward. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's awkward to talk about it and
to name it. Yeah.
And so I don't like the idea of fat or words associated with fat being insults. And that's something that you do.
Well, and fat has been an insult my entire life.
Right. And my entire life, for the most part. So it wasn't until I encountered more body positivity things and people, fat people, it sounds like an insult, but so on Instagram, they're like, I'm fat.
People of size.
Everyone's a person of size.
Size over here.
Trying to come. Anyway, reclaiming it and being like, don't say like you're not fat, you're beautiful, because that makes it sound like fat can't be beautiful. And I am a person who has thin privilege and who walks this world in a smaller body, and I just never feel like I can speak to the experience of being fat and what that's like. Whereas Tyler has had that experience.
Yeah. In fact, we were on a hike, a week ago?
Mm-hmm.
It was a week ago this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was struggling with all kinds of bits and pieces with my boots, with my ankle braces. And I was just frustrated and angry, and I couldn't get them to do what I wanted. I turned to Heather and I said, just never eat fat. And I wasn't even thinking in the moment because of your disordered eating and your body dysmorphia and how, every mirror is a funhouse mirror to you. So you don't really see a true reflection of yourself. And I did not mean that in the moment that way. What I was saying is it sucks to have to labor harder to do certain things. And then it turns out, it's because I was stupid and hadn't taken the insoles, the orthotics out of my boots and put in my other orthotic. And that just,
it just added difficulty and made it a lot harder.
Which is interesting because the orthotics are there in part because, and the ankle braces are in there because in college I fell, and where somebody who may have been smaller, it wouldn't have injured them the way it injured me. I was putting up a poster, the Pulp Fiction poster that was issued to every freshman that started college in 1998 or thereabouts, up in my dorm room, and I fell off a chair and rolled my ankle and almost broke it. And so the college clinic said, oh, if you were smaller, this wouldn't have almost broken.
Wow.
Yeah.
That the college clinic actually said that,
yeah.
too.
I mean, I have lived my life as Fatty Arbuckle and as Chris Farley, but with less cocaine. Like, Fatty falls down. That's an instant. And for somebody who is in theater and has always been the comic relief in comedies and or played the quote-unquote heavy. I've played the heavy more times than not. So, you learn to use the tools at hand, and your weight is one of them.
And that's one of the topics we definitely want to get into more specifically and in depth in other videos in this series, because this is more of just an introduction of just different things that we could talk about, because I find it interesting, that whole experience of being the person who plays that type of character, or the character role, who is basically portraying a trope or a stereotype of some kind and being cast really often in roles like that. Because I tend to get cast in certain roles, but it's never.
But you're an ingenue and you can play a wider range than Fatty Falls Down.
So.
And it's kind of interesting. So at one point I lost 140 pounds. And I was 199 pounds, and I was living off of diet shakes and anger. But I got to play, the what would have been the juvenile or the hero role. I got to play Theseus, and I looked sexy doing it. I got to play Lombard in And Then There Were None. Like, I was the love interest who survives.
Hold on, pause
Spoilers.
for a second. Let me just wait for the siren to Oh. Well, hopefully that didn't bother you because I'm not going to edit around that.
No.
Obviously, we are outside. Obviously, I am not at home. I actually didn't. I'm house sitting right now. So, but I wanted to get a video filmed because I've just been a little bit busy and haven't been able to.
Just a little bit busy.
Just a
What?
little.
Tell the fine people what you're trying to balance.
2 part-time jobs, my classes, the schoolwork associated with those classes, an internship that's like 20 hours a week, and my show that's currently 9 hours, like about 10 hours a week, I guess.
That is, the theater is also located 25 miles away from her home.
So I guess it's more like, yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah. And
with
you
the-
know
with
Southern
driving.
California traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, yes. So I wanted to film. So please pardon the ambient noise, and hopefully we're projecting loud enough that you can hear us. So anyway, but stuff like that, like how your weight loss resulted, or there's a correlation between your weight loss and the roles that you were
Yes.
getting versus pre-weight loss or post gaining it back,
Yeah.
and the roles that you got after that.
Yeah.
So that would be something that's interesting to talk about.
Because I've only really had 2 shows since I've gained the majority of the weight back. And one of them was more about my voice, because it
Right.
was script in hand. And then
But on top of that, I want to have an episode where we talk about what you do have about your appearance that counterbalances any sort of weight stigma that you get, because
Yes.
you have
I have height privilege.
you have height.
Yeah.
You have a full head of hair,
Yes.
a beard, you have a nice, beautiful speaking voice and singing voice, and this smile, and just like you have these other things that, whereas we've talked about if you were short and bald and maybe had a higher pitch to your voice,
Yes.
and being fat, like what that would mean
Mhm.
for how people treat you. But you gain respect with
Yes.
the things that you do have.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just something more to think about. And as you guys are kind of thinking about what is this series going to be about,
Well,
what
it's also all kind of started from, we were talking about what to call this, what is our relationship, what is our dynamic, and I defined it for Heather. It's the 90s sitcom trope. It's the fat husband, fat boyfriend, hot wife or girlfriend. You're hot.
I think you're hot.
I appreciate that. I am the Kevin James with less mall cop experience.
I see you
Whoa,
more.
I just went totally doing a co-op.
Co-op. Are you a co-op?
Are you a co-op? If you a co-op, you gotta tell me you're a co-op.
I think it's more, I see you more as the Patrick Warburton.
I mean, if I had Patrick Warburton's voice, I'd be just so happy.
Because,
But
yeah.
but Patrick Warburton, I'm like, he's broad-chested. Like he's okay. That came out a little. He is an attractive man. I have seen him up close at Comic-Con. I have had the opportunity to meet him. He is not an unattractive man.
You are not an unattractive man.
I appreciate that, but like
But
he
I
is.
think he
he's
falls
broad.
that show, Rules of Engagement, that couple would probably fall under that trope
Yeah.
of the bumbling husband.
bigger
And
husband.
Yeah, bigger. He's not.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time remembering like what he looked like in terms of his size, composition. But it was
tall and broad-chested, and
broad-chested,
like
but-
a little heavy, but
yeah, but yeah. So
yeah.
So when we were thinking about, well, what would we call this, and just kind of mulling over like how could I get people's attention? Like if I call this something like fat boyfriend, hot girlfriend, like
That's a porn series.
I mean that might get people's attention because it's kind of offensive, and I mean
Fatty and the Beast.
Am I the Beast?
Oh wait, no, I'm the Fatty and the Fit and Fat.
So that was one. That was one I was thinking of. The whole idea being...
Chubby and lovely.
The whole idea being... That was not one I thought of. Being partly reclaiming anything having to do with fat. And then pointing out something like making the covert overt? Is that right? Covert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saying the quiet part out loud.
Bringing the subtext to the text, you know, just bringing it out and talking about it, and that slight shock value of like, oh my gosh, this is titled that, what?
Yeah.
But I was starting to get uncomfortable with it, and I was thinking, well, maybe I can make a pun out of it, or I think someone's watching a game of some kind.
Yeah, there's a sporting event going on somewhere yonder.
Like a live sporting event?
Yeah. You don't hear the whistles?
I mean, I do, but I thought it was just like a group of people watching a game on their TV.
No, that's...
Oh, okay, yeah. No, there's some sort of live sporting event happening. More ambient noise for the excitement of our context here. So another title I thought of was Love Weighs In. And I read that to Tyler this morning, and what did you say?
It sounds like a mid-90s sitcom on CBS. This fall, Love Weighs In. Honey, I'm home. I bought a dog and then I sat on it. Oh.
No, and then you said...
Let's turn it into a brisket.
Which is, like, icky. It's...
This fall on CBS, Love Weighs In.
So I thought, okay, Love Weighs In, that's kind of... It speaks to our dynamic that we're in love. And that we're going to be talking about things like weight and bodies and stuff like that. So I thought maybe that, and then I kept brainstorming while we were in the car this morning, like, No Way Out.
This fall on NBC, No Way Out.
Like, what would that be, like a reality show where they forced?
They have to eat their way out of a gingerbread house.
Oh my god, that's not where I was going with that.
It's a house made of meat.
Okay.
And Fatty has to take the hit for Thinny.
All right.
I'll do it, baby.
Okay.
I love you.
Okay. And then
no more venison.
No more venison. Oh my. And then I was thinking just no way. Yes way. I don't know.
No Way, Yes Way sounds like a reality show hosted by Howie Mandel.
They basically all sound like reality shows to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No Way, Yes Way would be like a dating show where...
Yeah. Oh, Fatty has to date the Thinny.
And then it'd be like, no way. And then yes way, and it's a pun. I don't know. It's very stupid. So
Yes Way, and it's a pun. This girl got into grad school. She's gonna be a doctor someday.
Oh my god. I can't. Anyway, so those...
Puns are when words sound like other things.
Yeah, and it's clever. And then sometimes people don't get it, and then sometimes they do, and those are your friends.
Honey, I'm gonna eat the brisket now.
Okay, no more brisket jokes. I don't even know what a brisket is.
Oh my god.
Is a brisket a type of meat, or is it a way of preparing meat? Or is it a cut of meat?
It is a way of preparing meat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Usually it's beef, and you would...
I'll prepare your beef.
Wow.
I need to stop. We need to start closing this out. So
Close you out.
It's like I'm a tab at the bar.
Is it weird? This goes to my age. You say tab, and I think the soft drink.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
A tab?
What is that?
It was a soft drink from the 80s and 90s, and I'm sure in some parts of the Midwest it's still drunk. It's so remember. Okay, remember.
I don't have a lot of time.
Okay, that's fine.
So I think that's all I need to know is that it was a soft drink from...
No, this will help you get a joke in Back to the Future.
Okay.
Remember when Marty is sitting at the counter and at the dinette, and he says, yeah, I don't know, give me a tab. And he said, and the guy says, you have to order something to get a tab.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Okay. I do kind of remember that. It just went over I didn't even think about it.
See, now we're going to love olds in.
Love olds in.
Yes, because I'm old and you are young.
That's another part of our dynamic. That's another elephant in the room is our age difference.
Yeah, but elephants can never forget, and I'm so old. I'm like, all right, who are you?
I'm the one with the good memory.
Who are you?
Anyway.
Where am I?
So, yeah, I know this video is kind of all over the place. It is sort of an introduction to just how we talk about things and then sort of the topics that we'd want to discuss. Definitely how I believe and I know to be true based on my studies. Eating disorders come in all different shapes and sizes. We've realized that there's disordered eating, obviously with me, but also with Tyler.
Yeah, there's definitely, I have fluctuated my weight a lot over the years.
And just like the relationship with food and your body and stuff like that. And then we would, I think, want to unpack some of those tropes in movies and television with like what it means when a character is fat. Like what does that mean for the character? What does that mean for their arc? And then are there three-dimensional, really fleshed out characters?
Well, they have to be in 3 dimensions because they're so fat.
I thought you were going to make a joke about being fleshed out.
I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Okay, but you know what I mean. That those are not puns that are intended.
No.
Anyway, so those are other topics. So if that is something, if you have a specific topic in mind that you would want us to talk about next, let us know down in the comments. I think this is just all of my videos are for me anyway, but this one in particular I think is very much for like me and for us. I just think it'd be cool to talk about it, and in case anyone's interested, for other people to watch and join in, and I would definitely want to talk about things that you guys want us to talk about. So yeah, that's it. I think we did that in great time. So we'll see you next time.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo. Maybe we'll have a title by then. Maybe make up a jingle for Love Weighs In on the spot. Love weighs in.
Fatty, fatty, fatty. Love weighs in.
Love
fatty, fatty, fatty.
weighs in.
Fatty, fatty. I like tacos. I like burritos.
I like tacos. We had burritos last night.
Yeah, we did.
It was yummy.
Yeah, it was.
Love weighs in. Love weighs in. It weighs in. Love.
You're gonna cut all this out, right?
All right.
You know this, I look at fat guys on the internet, and they clap like this, and it makes me sad.
Why?
Yeah, because they can't they're like, yeah.
I've never noticed that.
I never want to be short arm fat.
You have very long arms.
I know,
You will
I know.
never have short arms.
Yes. Congratulations.
It's like when we stand up, our arms are the same, they land the same spot.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Because I got long monkey arms.
We're perfect for each other.
Okay, that's a creepy voice. Use that later.
We're perfect for each other.
Oh no, Anne, now you went too far.
Okay. All right.